And welcome back. It is the 10th of June, higher plus 5 a day, and let's just jump straight to the first question. Right, first question. Prove that this is even. Now, this is one of these whereby I need to do the algebra and hope something's going to happen. So let's do the algebra and then I'll tell you what I'm going to hope. So I'm just going to multiply out the first bracket, which is going to give me 6n squared minus 2 times 2 is 4n plus 3n minus 2. And then I'm going to multiply this one, but put brackets so I don't get them all mixed up. So it's going to be 6n squared minus 12n minus n and plus 2. Then remove the brackets. So it's going to be 6n squared minus 4n plus 3n is minus n minus 2 minus 6n squared minus 12n minus n is minus 13n. So that's plus 13n and minus 2 at the end. Right, so let's collect some of this. So 6n squared and 6n squared thankfully cancel out. And that just leaves me with 13n minus n, which is going to be 12n. Okay. And minus 2 minus another 2, which is minus 4. I don't really care about that, but what I do care about is I can write this as 2 lots of 6n minus 2. And I can factorise it further, but I don't want to, because the key point is I can say there is a factor of 2, so therefore even. And that is question done. Now, at A-level, a bit more rigour involved, but that's the basic idea of what you're going to say. Next one. 45 students were asked if they visited Canada, Mexico or USA. It's going to be a Venn diagram question. But actually, let's just, without even going any further, I know where this is going because I can see it says all three and various other things. So let's draw my Canada first. So Canada can go here. Draw it slightly better. Let's make this one Mexico, and then we'll put, what was the other one? USA. And then we'll put USA down here. In fact, actually, let's keep the technique. Let's call it U. Right, step by step. So first of all, let's remember the number's 45, because that seems like that might be important. 11 students have been to Canada, 1 student, right. So let's start here. So 1 student visited all 3, so they're going to go in the middle. 2 students had visited Canada and Mexico, but not the USA. So therefore, Canada and Mexico, not the USA, so 2 goes here. 3 students had visited Mexico and the USA. So that's going to be 3 minus the 1 we've already got, which is 2. 12 students had not visited any of the countries, so 12 goes on the outside here. 6 out of the 19 students who had visited the USA had been to at least one of the other countries. Right, cleverly worded. So in other words, 6 out of the 19 students had visited the USA. So the total USA circle is 19. 6 of them are inside the other circles as well. Well, I've already got 3, which is 1 and 2. So therefore the remaining 3 to make the 6 must be those 6 students. Then 3 plus 1 plus 2 is 6, which means I have 13 students that are not in the other circles. So far, so good. Anything else? No, we haven't got there yet. So I've done that one, I've done that one. And then it feels like we're a bit stuck, doesn't it? It says, oh no, then we go right to the top. There we go. I knew I was missing something. 11 students had been to Canada. So currently I have 2 plus 1 plus 3, which is also 6, which leaves behind 5 here. And now I'll go all the way back to where I started, add all these numbers up, and that gives me 38. I need it to be a total of 45. So 38 from 45 is 7, which means my other 7 students are going to go there. And that is question done. Venn diagram filled in with the box around the outside. You'll lose a mark if you don't put the box. Next one. Wasn't a probability. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I haven't finished at all, have I? Read the question. Work out the probability they had only visited Mexico. So work out the probability of 2 of the 45 students had only been to Mexico. So it's these 7 here. So in other words, the first student is going to be 7 over 45. And the second student is 6 over 44. Now this is going to be calculator out, isn't it? So calculator out. And the calculator tells me that's 7 over 330. Now, completely unintentional. It's a really good example of getting excited because I've done something. I've drawn a Venn diagram. I hadn't actually answered the question. But we got there. We made it. Next question. A farmer rents the field at a rate of £0.5 per square metre per year. How much does the farmer pay? I feel I'm missing some information. Okay, I presume the answer is going to be per year, isn't it? So I need to work out how big this field is. Now I'm going to use, well, I can't use sine rule, can I? Because I don't have an angle. So I'm going to use a cosine rule to get an angle. And then I'm going to use that angle to work out the area of the triangle. So let's concentrate on this angle here, alpha. So therefore alpha equals cos minus 1. I'm just going to write it out, because especially if you're sort of close to exams, you should know the reverse cos rule. So it's going to be b squared plus c squared, which is 95 squared plus 80 squared, minus a squared, which is 50 squared, divide all that by 2 times b times c, which is 80 times 95. Put all that in my calculator and I get 31.75253 etc. degrees. Now, because I'm going to need this angle, I'm going to write down 31.7525. So lots of significant figures, which will make my final answer slightly better. Remember, that's just the angle. So now I need the area. So the area is going to be equal to a half times 95 times by 80 times by the angle in between time, or sine the angle in between, which is 31.7525. And that's going to give me an area. Remember, I'm still only doing the area of, so 1999.7558. 1999.75, or let's call it 76. Now, that's only the area. Still haven't answered the question. So the question then says the farmer rents the field at a rate of 0.5 per square metre. So in other words, the amount he pays is, I'm going to divide this by 2, and that's going to give me 999.88. In other words, £999.88 per year. Because it wasn't clear on how long I'm renting it for. Next question. Oh, I've got another vectors question, same as yesterday. Is ABC a straight line? Explain your answer. Okay, well, let's just start by working out AB and AC. So I'm going to work out AB, and I'm going to work out AC, and I'm going to hope they are vector products of each other. So A to B, I'm basically going from A to O to O to B. So that's going to be 4A plus, no, not plus, minus 3B plus 5A plus 2B. So far, so good. And if we tidy this up, well, 5 plus 4 is going to be 9A. And minus 3 plus 2 is going to be minus B. Okay. And I can't simplify that any further, so I'll leave it like that. Now, A to C is going to be A to O again. So 4A minus 3B. And then I'm going to go up O to C, but it's against the arrow. I'm going to do the opposite. So it's going to be minus B minus 32A. But it's against the arrow, so it's plus 32A, isn't it? I need to listen to myself. Now, let's combine these. So 4 plus 32 is 36A. Minus 3B minus B is minus 4B. Now, in order to show that it's a straight line, I'm going to then write this as 4 times 9A minus B, which specifically is 4 times AB. Now, that's not enough. I also need to say as AB is parallel to AC, and, crucial bit, they share point A. Therefore, ABC is straight line. So it's not only they're parallel, but they share the point as well. And that is it. Question done. Quite tricky today. Definitely some harder questions. As ever, let me know how they went for you. Do like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.